and welcome to Pimpin' Positivity Podcast. My name is Alethea Crimmins, and we are going to empower, motivate, and inspire y'all. When I tell you I am fangirling right now, like y'all just do not understand. I am so excited to have this beautiful, amazing lady because you know and understand that March is Women's Month. And I will be interviewing the most amazing women that I know and that you know and love. Look, I know that y'all may be looking at this face like, who is this lady? But I'm telling you that you know her. You know her. And I'm so excited. Can you please introduce yourself, Miss Lori
I sure can.
Allen?
Hi, Alethea. It's so good to be with your whole audience. My name is Lori Allen. I'm a voice actor. And a lot of people would probably know me as Pearl Krabs from SpongeBob SquarePants. 25 years and going. So I've been
I'm freaking
16 for
out.
25 years. That's the best show ever. You might know me from Metal Gear Solid, the boss for the gaming people. And then Diane Simmons, you can't see her very much in that poster back there because I've rehung everything. Or Toy Story. So I have these posters behind me for ease. It's so good to be with you. Yes, I'm a voice actor, animal
Oh,
activist, coach, um, and I need to always stay connected to my tribe. And lo and behold, we found each other, and here's our new friendship love affair.
yes, and I love it. And I'm so glad that you mentioned your tribe because I think that women, especially women, we need to find our
Yeah.
people. We need to find positive people to surround ourselves with because that's so hard to
It really
do.
is, and women can be difficult. I was bullied when I was a kid in school, bullied by a bunch of girls, and I
Same.
had some triangulation and family stuff and friend stuff. And I find that I don't need as much quantity, I need quality. So my circle has gotten less, but it vibrates more with positivity and truth and honesty. And women can get, everybody can get jealous, but it just serves no purpose. And so I struggle with jealousy, gossip, of course, insecurity. Like I'm an artist, so I'm very sensitive and insecure, on so many levels. But I'm also
Same.
Right? I'm also so grateful to know that my tribe has to be there for the good, the bad, the ugly, the in between, the raunchy, the serious. I'm aging, so all my best girlfriends, their parents are aging. My dog is aging, so I got to be with a tribe that understands all that and that makes me not feel crazy or judged, that just loves all of me, the messy to the yummy diva thing, which is all just, like true and natural.
And you need somebody that's going to be honest with you. Like I need the people around me to be honest cuz listen, if I am messing up, tell
Yeah.
me. Let me know. Don't just let me mess
Yeah.
up. Like tell me when I'm not doing something right cuz some people will just let you
Yeah.
fall just
And
to
then they
see
get
you fall.
resentful afterwards, and it's like, well, you didn't tell me, you didn't have boundaries. So for example, I think we all have some kind of, I'll speak for myself, but like a little bit of collective PTSD from the pandemic. Like every once in a while in crowds, I'll be like, I should be wearing a mask. I'm afraid I'm going to be alone. I need to wipe stuff down. Like that's just me. I talk for a living. I have asthma, so I'm very careful. And even if I wasn't, even if that's just how I wanted to be in the world, which is still careful, we still have some like PTSD, right? So I have some different.
Uh-huh.
What? Yeah, right?
Yes, cuz I, I do too. Is like,
And
oh, should I be in this crowd of
right.
people right now?
And I do also think that we have to live our lives. It's a part of our lives now, but it's still scary. It's still scary. It's still only 4 years out. Can you believe that next month's going to be 4 years, which is crazy? I'm like, why do I look so much better and younger in those pictures? I'm like, because it was 4 years ago. But anyway, I think that also one thing friends need to do, girlfriends need to do, big time, not just partners. Like my one friend is a therapist and she's like, you know what? I don't always like to talk on the phone after work. I've been talking and listening to people all day. I'm better just texting and then talking on the weekends. And she's like, and I love her and I couldn't have my life without her. And I'm like, well, you know what? I really need to make sure I have some talk time because I'm a blah, blah, blah person, so it's really asking
Mm-hmm.
for what you need from your girlfriends too. Not just a partner. I think we all assume like boundaries and what do you need and what works for you is for a partner. It's for your friendships too, big time you know Is it better?
That is
Why do
true.
we just assume that girlfriends don't need the same? Um, I mean, the girlfriends for me have taught me how to show up for myself fully so that I could get married at 57. And I knew how to do it because my cup is full. My heart is full. I have done some of the work. And one of your posts recently was so good about, all the married folks, like, are you really married? Have you worked on your baggage stuff? And I always say, get into whatever 12 step you need. I qualify for a couple on any given day. Get into therapy, work on your family of origin shit, because you're going to drag that with you, and you're going to put usually mom or
You
dad's
will.
face on your partner.
You will. You will. Because I didn't realize how much baggage
Mhm.
I had until I got in a relationship, and I was like, damn, I am a bag lady. I'm just carrying on, and I'm wondering why I can't be happy. I'm wondering why I always have to look over my shoulder thinking, because when you have baggage, you start having relationship
Yeah.
PTSD. And it's just like, well, why are you doing this?
Right. And you're
What are you doing this
punishing
for?
your
What do you
Yeah,
want?
and I feel like we end up punishing or acting out, or I call it testing. Like, I realize my husband just is like, okay, well, you can. I don't want to talk about that issue anymore. If you do, you can talk to somebody else. But I'm done. And I'm like, with it, and it takes all the fun out of it, right? So I love him so much for that. And I love my girlfriends for, like, I think we're done with that kind of topic, because we project stuff, and we're subconsciously or consciously like testing our partner or testing our friends. You can put the head of your mom and dad on a
Mm.
friend and act out your shit there. And it's like, no, we have a responsibility to ourselves to be full, to be, you got to look at your stuff. We're going to always have wounds and, like, soft, vulnerable spots. And can we be messy in the wonderfulness of our lives? Can we be happy in the messiness? Can we still be growing even though there's a death in the family, right? Like, life is about the integration of everything, and we have to find a way to not act it out, eat it out, shop it out, fuck it out, like, be,
Okay.
you know, so that we can take it out on others.
I need people to hear this message. Like, it doesn't matter what. So basically, what you are saying is that you have to find the, like, positive, find like the beauty even in your
Even in
mess. Find the positive even in your
Because I think we
mess.
think that we can't feel more than one feelings at a time. Like, I woke up happy today. I'm a migraine sufferer. So yesterday I had a bad migraine. It gets cold, then today was warm again. So the weather affects me, and it affects my mood and serotonin and everything. And I have to accept also where I'm at today. Like yesterday, when you're trying to do your admin work at the computer, right? It was just a day, and I was
Yes.
like, I can't get anything done. And I was like, Lori, just stop. Go watch one of your favorite shows. And then tomorrow you're going to be probably in a better place to knock through emails and this and that and the other. Some people, sometimes we don't always have the opportunity to do that, but as best as we can, like, if you're not feeling in a good, rested place, don't sit and procrastinate for like 6 days, but try again at a time when you feel more clear headed. You've carved out some time, you're going to get it done more efficiently. Um, that kind of thing. And I don't remember what we were saying before that because I went off on a tangent. I do that all the time. Oh, just being like,
Girl, listen, I'm the queen of going off on tangents, because once you get me started on something that I'm, like, passionate about, it's like
that's why I relate to
because
you.
that's why people
Because also the whole idea of, like,
listen.
I grew up with, you're too much, you're so sensitive, you talk a lot. And I was like, well, that's me. And so I may have been, as my husband says, apparently women are attracted to me, just not my ex-wife. And so apparently I'm not too much. I may be too much for some people, but apparently the people who I have in my life currently, and they're all spiritual, working on themselves too, I am just right. I am just right.
You are more than enough. But just think, look at what you being too much got you.
Oh, I like that.
Look at what being too much got you. Look at where you are in your life because you were too much. You are not just enough. You are more than enough. Look at everything that you have done from being too much. Honey, you have been on one of the longest playing cartoons that people still to this day It doesn't matter how old you are. People watch
Oh,
and love
yeah.
SpongeBob. You are a part of this because you were what? Too much. So,
Girl,
honey, be too much.
thank you so much.
Be extra.
Oh, you understand.
Be
Can I,
extra.
first of all, thank you. That means so much to me because I think all artists and empaths, I think we're all highly sensitive people. There's that whole like HSP, highly sensitive person, and not to be mistaken with an introvert because I'm an extroverted HSP. So it's very interesting if anybody wants to look
Mm-hmm.
that up, right? But you're absolutely right. And my friend and I, Miss Karen Valanda Osborne, she's from Arkansas, and we always go, "Hey, I don't like anybody who's not extra." So I've just figured out that all my friends are extra in some way. I have to tell you a funny story. My best girlfriend, Monica, one of my other best girlfriends, beautiful black woman married to this white guy who's like a blue-eyed soul and sings Prince music, and his voice is like, ooh. So we're out seeing him at a concert, and it
Girl.
was like, it was her, I'm making this up, but let's just say it was like her 25th birthday, and she was there with her dad dancing at a with
Okay.
her dad. So cute. White outfit, like she was at church, white fan, white pumps. She looked amazing. I'm in the restroom, a little tipsy on some champagne. I look under the stall and I see these white pumps. And I said, "I'm so sorry to bother you while you're, having tinkle time." But I said, "It is so precious to see you dancing with your dad and having this glorious night celebrating your birthday. Um, you have a few friends here, but you're just here to celebrate music and joy and all this kind of stuff." And then she goes, "Well, I'm a little extra." And I said, "I'm a little extra." And then this girl from the other stall goes, "I'm extra." And we came out. We don't know each other from Adam. And we're all masked up. And we all washed our hands. And I said, "Here's to being extra. Like, extra just means to me means normal.
Yes.
That's like my baseline is extra. That means I talk, I feel, I communicate with passion. That's what that means to me."
That that that's me. And people think, okay, so when I do my videos, people are always like, why are you yelling? I don't mean to yell. That that is my passion. Like that is my passion coming out because I want you to love you hard.
Yeah.
I want you to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be. So I'm like, you know what? You can do it. And it's like, yes, I'm being extra because who wants to be just ordinary?
Okay.
I want to be extraordinary. I
Yes,
want to be extraordinary.
extraordinary.
Y'all, surround yourself with people who are extra. It's okay to be extra. It's okay to be weird. I'm weird.
I'm
And I
weird.
want to be around
Let
weird
your
people.
freak let your freak flag fly, whether it's in your creative life, your personal life,
Hi.
all of it. Because
Hi.
introverts also, like for those one of my best friends Mary's like, "I'm more of an introvert. I'd rather, I get social anxiety stuff. Please be my fun date to everything. And she's so talented and so funny and just wonderful. And it's like she is so creative and such a diva and just so it's like just because you're shy and introverted doesn't mean you can't be extra in your own way too, and it's okay to not be extra, so we all balance each other out. And there are going to be people that don't like you. There are going to be people that don't like you because of your light, and they're going to want to bring you down. Like, perfect tangent example, Taylor Swift or Beyonce. Like, can we just be happy that she loves a man who happens to be a football player? We're jealous because she writes her own music and she speaks up for herself in the music industry. And like everyone's like, "Beyonce doing country music?" Yes, because it is from the roots of black people that made that music. So can we just hold them up instead of being like, "I
And do
don't do
what you
anything
want to do.
amazing, so I'm going to take them down on social media because I have nothing better to do." No, let's hold these ladies up to highest esteem.
And then instead of saying just like you said, oh well, they feel like I don't do anything amazing. Go do something amazing. Go be amazing. Go do something amazing.
Right.
And we do not need permission to shine. We need to stop asking people for permission to shine. The sun does not ask permission to shine. So why should we? Just shine anyway. If people don't like you, shine anyway. If people don't love what you do, shine anyway. Because that's what you were intended to do. And that's what you did. And that's what you're doing now. You're shining anyway in spite of. This is why I love people who are extra. Because when we're extra, we're a little bit delusional, just a little bit, but we don't put limitations on what we can do.
Yeah.
When you're extra, we learn to not put limits on what we can do. When you're extra, you think that you can do anything. And you can.
Yeah.
And you
And the
can.
person you said something that was so positive to me. My extra is what led me to where I am right now. And everything is a journey. I think we have to be careful, especially in our culture. Here in the US, right? We tell people like in 11th grade, you're supposed to know what the hell you want to do for college. You're 16 years old, right? In other European countries, they go travel and find themselves for a year and a half. I think that's amazing. You don't have to know what you want to do. You can change your decision at any point during the day. You can start your day over at any point during the day. And let's say you're suffering with depression or a migraine or a myriad of other things, a PTSD day, a day you're worried. One of my best girlfriends, Julie, has to go home because her dad has had a big fall and she's worried about him and she's just such a great daughter and a great human. And she said, you know, the thing I could do this morning was like make my bed and take a shower. Like sometimes that is your amazing for the day. Take your day wherever you
Yes.
are so we can be amazing and we can do anything and we can sparkle and we can be extra. But what if the most esteemable thing you could do today, for example, is make your bed and make a healthy breakfast and take your vitamins and do a load of wash? Like some days that's a tall order, right?
Some days that's all I can do. Like people legit think that I wake up every day like,
No, hell no, that's not
spirit
possible.
fingers. Girl, let me tell you something. I am you are looking at a person with depression. You are looking at a
Anxiety, depression,
person that has been
OCD.
diagnosed with depression. So sometimes, a lot of times, when I wake up, it's like, okay, Alethea, get up, get up, get up. Okay, now we're going to get up. 3, 2, 1, up.
Yeah, the
And
wonderful.
it takes everything that I have some days just to get up out of bed,
Yes, ma'am.
just to brush my teeth and wash my face and take a shower. It takes a lot. Like it's literally draining. But then I have to remind me that if Alethea does not show up for Alethea, nobody else will. So I have to put on my superhero cape. And sometimes that's hard because it's like, I don't want to put on
Yeah,
this cape,
sometimes it weighs
but I'm
you
not putting this
down.
cape on for anybody else. I'm putting this cape on for me.
Yes. Yes, brilliant. Yes.
I'm putting this cape on for me because we need to learn how to be our own superhero because we deserve to be the superhero in our
We
lives.
deserve to be happy. We came into this world deserving to be happy and joyous and free. And again, some days it's a tall order. It's a tall order, but you're so right. Alethea, yes, to be happy, we deserve to be happy for us, period. And I think that's where that, you know, getting into therapy and looking at your stuff is important, but you can't wallow in it because at a certain, especially I can only speak from me being 57, almost 58 in July, that huh?
And you look gorgeous, by the way.
I drink a lot of
Gorgeous,
water.
gorgeous,
I
gorgeous.
love to eat, but I love to exercise. I'm plant-based and I drink a ridiculous amount of water. I have 3 of these on the desk. And I prioritize sleep. I try to
Ooh,
sleep 9 hours a night because we extra folks, we put out more in a good way. And maybe in the
girl.
other good way too.
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, maybe so,
But
but
I remember when I was in high school, and then I remember being in college too, and I would come home from college, and my stepfather was like, "Why are you sleeping so long?" First of all, I was in college and I was exhausted, but I need a ton of sleep. So sometimes my husband and I, who's a sleep talker, he's like, "Oh, wow, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" We sleep separate a lot of the time, and I think that's like a big taboo. Sometimes he snores, and I'm like, sleep is so important to me. So if I have to get up early and be on set, or if he's got to be early, get up extra early for a job. Um, I'll say, let's sleep apart. There's no taboo about that. Self-care in every area, sleep, exercise. Like I have OCD, so stuff sounds like feels like noise. I had to explain that to him. So we have 3 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we have to get this custom made couch cover. And I know it sounds so extravagant because all the towels and the sheets makes me feel like suffocated. So it's just, we have to be happy for us. Then anyone that we're doing business with, we're in love with, we're in partnership with, your manager, my agents, my manager, my dogs, it doesn't matter. We're going to be in better partnership when we take care of ourselves. So I love that we are there to take care and be and pull ourselves up and at them every day. And sometimes you do need to sit in it and be like, meh, but not for a long time. Those
Yeah.
times have gotten shorter and
No,
shorter.
you have to let the moment be the moment. That's how you have a good day on
Yes.
purpose. You're welcome. That's how you have a good day on purpose because you have to let the moment be the moment. And you have OCD, honey. I have ADHD. So my mind goes 100 miles a
Right.
minute. And I love how you said that we, you don't need to know what you're gonna do or where you need to be right now. Honey, I am on the 9,837 version of myself. And I and I change and I grow every day. Like nobody can tell you, oh, well, you need to be this right now. Like nobody can put a like time frame on who and what you need to be. Things are going to happen when it happens. Let it happen and give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Just
Because
give
we're so
yourself
hard on
time to be
ourselves.
a butterfly. Give yourself time.
Right.
It takes
It
time.
takes time. And because my brain works so fast, what I was going to say too, I can't wait to watch this and listen to you again. Um, is, which is at a certain point when I was younger, I definitely needed to do therapy so I could see where stuff came from, right? Now I know I had this, and this happened, right? So there was dysfunction in the home, lots and lots and incredible amounts of love, incredible amounts of caring and parents showing up, but there was some dysfunction um, and divorce. And there was a time when I got molested and bullied and things like that. And so
Mm.
now it just matters. Okay, so how do I work on me from here forward? If I keep looking at that, looking at that, looking at that, then I stay in that and my vibration goes down. I want to put a higher vibration into the world. And sometimes on those days when I'm not extra and
Right.
not as happy and my hair isn't curled, um, and my lips aren't glossy perfect, some days, like I said, just being present with where I am is enough. And there's so much going on in the world. And I don't know about you, but between what's suffering across, we're in crazy wars across the world. And for me, like the animals, the way they're treated in the environment, there's just so much going on. And with Trump almost, hopefully, God willing, he doesn't get elected. Um, there's so much going on that I feel hopeless, not hopeless, helpless. And so what can I do? I
Hmm.
can bring love and light to myself first, and then I can share it to others. And then sometimes what I can do for the world is making my bed for the day if I'm having a shitty vibrations day.
Okay. Right.
So it's interesting, right?
So how so you just gave me a list of everything that you have gone through in your past. So how did Lori decide, okay, you know what? I've gone through this, I've gone through that, I've been bullied, I've been molested. How did you just take all of this and turn it into what you've made it? How did you take all of that and say, you know what? It doesn't matter what I've gone through. I was destined for something great. So now I'm going to take all this, I'm going to put all of my energy into being a voice actress. Like, was this always what you wanted
Yeah. Well,
to do, or did this
yes,
just
a
happen?
voice and on camera actress. My parents, my mom Martha and my dad Elliot, they were divorced when I was very young, and they just both walked me down the aisle in October just a few months ago. It was beautiful. It was absolutely the talk about a high vibration wedding. I mean, there was so much healing that just happened naturally. It was excuse me, incredible. Pardon me. And I think that well, I know that they were both theater majors with radio and television minors, like back in the late 50s, early 60s in college. So if I had grown up, if I'd come home and said, Mom, Dad, this is kind of something serious. I want to be a lawyer or a doctor. They would have been like, "What? You need juggling and tap dancing as a side profession." So I'm an anomaly in that I got very supported to have a career in the arts. And I knew my mom said this at the wedding, actually. I think it was kindergarten or first grade. And it was either three blind mice or something like that. And I'm not tall, I'm 5'6", but at the time, for whatever reason, I was a little bit taller than the other kids. I don't know. I developed in all sorts of
Mm-hmm.
ways. And so whatever it was like bop, bop, bop. And I remember being like, ooh, I get to play. And in that moment, I knew I got to play. I'd seen my mom be in plays. I saw my dad be in plays. Then he went over to advertising and writes music. And so I just got to see that playing. Well, first of all, it got me a lot of atta girls. It got me people to like me. It got girls to like me, boys to like me, good grades. So it was a little bit of a wonderful thing, but also it was a false, what's the word? False, um, not false, but for an outside exterior validation that I carried with me up as
Mm-hmm.
natural
Mm-hmm.
100%. Thank you, mom and dad. Um, but also, like when I was living in New York, I went to Emerson College, then NYU, and when I graduated college, I came out of the gate working. I had wonderful mentors and wonderful agents out of the gate, and my voice was like really raspy. I got told by, sorry, Lisa, if you're watching, my sister. My sister told me my voice was funny. Everyone had told me my voice was funny. My one choir teacher, Mrs. Marlene Baldwin, she said to me, you are like hiding. Let me put you in the tenor section with the boys. So that was cool. And let me tell you about this artist named Bette Midler. And she made me sing The Rose. And I won first place at our talent show. And then I went, okay, to those who made fun of my voice. I was in a commercial when I was 5, and they said my this really raspy voice. And the irony is that they dubbed my voice with another little girl. Anyway, I think what happened is that
Oh,
I from the beginning, I was with a tribe. The minute I went away to school, and anybody that was different was who was immediately in my tribe. It was like all the gay and lesbian, anybody of color, all the theater kids, all the dorky kids, all of those people that weren't trying so hard to be popular. And I realized that those people have the same stuff, you know what I mean? But I found my tribe of like
yeah.
other artists and other people who were like willing to be vulnerable and willing to be weird and willing to be loud and silly and creative. And so somehow that was just naturally healing. So that when I went into the arts, I had like a lot of cheerleaders just by the fact that, thank God, my parents and my family and teachers who said, you're different. That's awesome. That encouraged my authenticity and to be
Oh,
weird. And I still have that today. And so that's actually what's led to some success. And so I had success earlier. And I remember thinking, is there a pamphlet? Is there a handout for relationships?
you're right.
Where's the thing?
Because how
I
do I
missed
do
that. So I
this?
got the
How do I
career
do
one.
this?
Where do I sign up? Do I get it when I voter register? Do I get it at the doctor when I go get my pap smear? Is someone going to hand me the thing on relationships? And you find that
Just
shit out by being like, I miss you
listen.
find out, what is it called? Like on the spot training. You find out how to do that for yourself. And I did. I mean, I find the work that I do, I try to also, this is a big deal to me. And I grew up with very service minded parents. Say hi to somebody on the street, make eye contact like my neighbors. We have these wonderful gay couple
Yes.
here, and these fabulous couple over here with 2 kids. And I always hear him screaming at his kids. And I'm like, I'm screaming at my dog. No problem, unless there's something crazy going on. And so I said, you know what? I tried to do a neighborhood watch so that during an earthquake here in California, or whatever, I would know the peoples when I was single. So I was like, let me just try to do that for myself and for others to provide, and no one, everybody on this street. I bought this house with my ex. I probably wouldn't live here, but it's very safe, and I'm so great. I do a gratitude list to the best of my ability every day, even if it's to myself, but I write it out and share it with people. So that's huge to me is gratitude
I
and
love it.
service. So I said, guys, we keep waiting for some perfect time. And our house is definitely not the fanciest. And I had some big insecure moments about that. And I was like, fuck that. We're going to Trader Joe's and we're putting out finger foods and white and red wine. And that's it. And we're having our neighbors over for the first time. I've lived in this house for 12 years. So I try to be
I
service
love it.
that way. It's like, could you do a good day for the deed and not get found out? And that's hard. Sometimes that's prayer. Sometimes that's picking up somebody else's dog poop or putting money in a meter. What can I do
Yes.
for somebody else where I'm not going to get found out? And can I hold the space? I talk fast. I tend to talk. Can I not interrupt? Can I this my business is very narcissistic. And my dear friend Elaine Hendricks, you spot it, you got it, right? Oh, that weird Zoom thing does that. It's doing the spark.
But
So that means
I love it. I love it.
I'm
I love
extra. Usually you
it.
find your,
It was like,
how did that happen? Oh my God, Zoom does weird things.
I have no
That
idea.
is so weird. Um, I was on Skype with a therapist last week, and she's like, "Why did sparklers just go off around me?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know." Um,
Because we are
that's
extra.
right.
Hello. I mean, that was just a like sign that says we're extra. So let me show you just how extra we are. And I need everybody to pay attention to what she said because this is important. Lori said that at first people told her that her voice was too deep. At first people said, "Oh, we do not like your voice. Your voice is this. Your voice is that. Maybe you should be this." Because it was different. Sometimes you have something about you right now that people are saying, maybe you should be because you're different. Maybe you should do this because you're different. Maybe, but look at what the outcome was. It's okay to be different because different is
Yeah,
beautiful.
and different. If we
Different
were all
is
the same, if we were
beautiful.
all the same world, the world would be so damn boring. So we need the extra, we need the
Very.
experts, we need everybody. And oh, what I was going to say that is so important to me, that was a real light bulb. I want to say about 15 years ago, was my dear friend, animal activist, gorgeous diva of a human being. She played the newer Alexis on Dynasty. My friend Elaine Hendricks, which you should know, and
Oh,
she's wonderful. And she was talking about how this business is, inherently narcissistic, right? And it's insecurity. You get a lot of no's before you even get one yes. I'm used to that now because I've been doing this since I was a kid. And she literally has this story that she tells about going on the internet one day of like, where can I volunteer? Like, what's my passion? Animals. And that's how she went vegan, is she saw something that was kind of, factory farming that was very disturbing to her. And she said, I want to be a voice for animals. Right. So, what can you do if it's reading to kids, if it's being like, I have another good friend, Alicia, who has a foster. She's really young, and she's like, I had a weird childhood sometimes, so she's like a foster, she works in the foster program. Is it going I have another friend, Ashley, who's Jewish, and she's so wonderful, and she goes and sings to all these Holocaust survivors, senior citizens. Whatever is your thing, go
I love
one
it.
day a week, even if it's reposting. My friend Tom Quiche, I keep saying these my friends' names in case they should listen or see. My friend Tom Quiche spends every day at animal shelters. He's this very handsome, big guy with this deep voice. So he purposely goes and walks all the Rottweilers and the pit bulls and other dogs, of course, too, to help them get
I love it.
socialized so that they're more likely to get adopted. And so even if it's reposting something that somebody is doing and saying, read this, this is a really, that's why I repost your things, restory,
Thank you.
because people need to have some inspiration. We all need inspiration at any given point during the day. We need inspiration, and especially for those of us who freelance, which is like everyone. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
or so many of us. I don't have a boss who says, Lori, that audition was the shit, that was amazing. I mean, my agents will sometimes chime in, or the universe will, I'll book that thing, but otherwise I have to give that to myself. Like I have right up here in my in front of me, I said,
Okay, so you have to know and believe that you are the shit, the whole
I'm
shit,
not
and
the
nothing
shit.
but the shit. I mean,
Yep.
hello.
And sometimes that is hard.
You have to
My
do that
my
for
mom gave
yourself.
me this. Put your big girl panties on, and deal with it. And that can be
Okay?
harsh sometimes, but it just means I translated that. And the girl's silly with like these, it's a goofy little thing, but she's got these like crazy eyes. And I was like, if I can take that in a light manner and just know that, like I have a beautiful thing, you can't see it above my desk right now, that says, hello, beautiful. And I keep like pictures of us around. And I also have this thing, this is so funny. I have this Velcroed to the damn wall. I remember my therapist said, and now I use it with my voiceover clients, it's an emotion chart, because when I am wound the F up, I will just go into fear and just be like, my house is on fire, my hair's on fire. No, fear can be broken down into, what if I had a talk and I felt humiliated, rejected, insecure, anxious,
Mm.
worried, worthless, insignificant, alienated, inadequate? Most likely it's something more specific if I can tease it out. Then I can deal with something more specifically, put it into perspective, and then deal with it. Make an outreach call, say,
I love
so
it.
if I'm angry, I could also be frustrated. I could be withdrawn. I could be suspicious. Maybe somebody isn't doing something that I feel. I could be hostile. I could feel provoked by something somebody said, right? But if I can get really specific on my feelings, then most likely I'm able to be able to get to what the root of what's bothering me actually is, and not just or I can actually deal with whatever I'm feeling a little bit more specific.
So
Get
who has
inside.
been the like, because you seem like you just influence so many people in a
And I'm
positive
sure it's
way,
irritating.
and you have been a light to so many people.
I'm sure some people are like, oh, for God's sake, can you stop talking about dogs and positivity and self help? But that's just what I know. That's what I know. That's who I am.
But who has been the biggest influence in your life? Like who's that one person that was like, without you, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now.
Wow, it's going to make me cry. Again, I mentioned Marlene Baldwin, who was a voice
Oh no.
teacher and told me to come sing with the tenor in the tenor section with the boys and introduced me to the Rose. Um, a therapist that I had who said, you are so spiritual and so smart, but you run at a certain pace, like that's extra, extra. He was a wonderful therapist who said, I think you may have some anxiety and depression issues. And he said it so lovingly. Um, who else was like another person? Then I have a voiceover mentor named Charlie Adler, who's so talented. So any animation fans, you'll go, oh my God, who was like, you are weird, you are extra, you are loud, you are vulnerable, you're a crybaby. I love it. And he said, put all that into your work. So now as a coach myself, you
Yes.
cannot be in your auditions like you could have an audition, add on an emotion. If it's a witchy character, she can't just be evil all the time. She's going to be sensitive in one line, whatever, right? So you're going to have to take your life, your day, your audition, your your podcast, your wherever, from where you are right now, and bring it into your work, right? I always tell people when I'm coaching with them, let's say you're like, oh shit, I forgot to eat. I'm thirsty. Okay, step out of the booth and get a glass of water. If you found out, like I found, my mom texted me yesterday, my aunt has breast cancer in both breasts. My stepfather fell again. Okay, but what can I do? I can pray. I can take a deep breath and I can say, Mom, when's a good time to talk to you? I want to give her my full attention. I want her full attention. Um, all my teachers that encouraged me to, like, I had a teacher at Emerson that said go to New York, so I transferred from Emerson to NYU. I had a teacher that said you need to go to LA, you need to be working already. I have a person, thank you for that, Max Muchnick, who I went to college with, creator of Will and Grace. He changed.
Oh, I love Will and Grace.
But Max Muchnick, I have so much to be thankful for, because I think he heard me cry either in a play or real life. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, your crying makes me laugh. He said, your crazy loud ass cry makes me laugh so hard. And he wrote it into a show that we did called, that he did wrote, because he's brilliant. He changed the landscape of television and gay and lesbian rights with Will and Grace. So he
Yes.
is fantastic. He and his partner, writing partner David Cohan, have changed not just television and entertainment, but the world with their art and their beliefs and their sticking to itness and saying, "Oh, you don't want us such and such? Okay, do you want us NBC?" And they just never gave up. So he wrote the part for me on the show, but I didn't get it. Megan Mullally did, which I'm fine with, because she's, oh my God, she's so funny as Karen. She's a genius. But he was like, your brand of weird is so awesome. And I'm going to come to Barney's with you, girl, and
I love
get
it.
you in a tight blouse to show those boobies. And we're going to do a tight little cinched waist. And then your hips and thighs are thick. So let's get that skirt hemmed. He was a trip. And he was like,
Oh.
he was a trip. And he just said, he goes, you make me laugh harder than just about anybody. And then I did the crazy play out here, and another director was like, you just be weird, you. I love that. And who's been that way for me on a personal level, not just performing, has really been all my girlfriends, but really my husband. And we met through a wonderful group of friends. He and his partner at the time, Ivette, wonderful. Both grew up in LA, both groovy, knew them. friendly. They would came to my 50th, they'd come see some shows that I was in, and they were just so loving. And I was like, he's so nice. Why is he so nice? Is he flirting with me? She's right there. And then it occurred to me, he's just genuinely himself. He's chatty. Between the two of us, we're like, "Ah." And I thought, he's just nice. He doesn't want anything from me. I'm used to, sometimes I'd gotten used to with the way I grew up and what men wanted me and having, big boobs. Men either wanted something from me, having
Right.
a full career, or having a partner be jealous. My last partner was like, oh, I didn't think anybody was funnier and made more money than me. And I was like, bye, love you so much, but I gotta go. And this guy, beautiful
Right.
woman I vet at the beginning of the pandemic, she got diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma inoperable brain tumor. I saw him on a Zoom. They told everyone, and I was like, oh my God, my stepmother, may she rest in peace. She was dying of stage, I'm not even sure what. I'd have to ask my dad or my brother. Uh, Stage 4, probably liver cancer that had gone to her bones, into her brain, heart disease, diabetes. My mom was very sick before the vaccine. And I had an aunt who died of a brain tumor and another aunt that died of COVID. And when I heard that he had had a panic attack through mutual friends, and he's so easygoing, and I left him either a message, I think I called him, because my big thing now lately is I get so lazy and I'm like texting, I'm like, call someone, get off texting, get off device
Mm-hmm.
and call someone. Even if you say, I know I'm chatty, do you have 10 or
Well,
15 minutes?
I'm guilty. I'm
We
guilty.
all are.
I'm
That's
so
just our
guilty because
society and our culture.
I'm a texter.
Right.
I'm a texter
He's
too.
like, hey,
I'm
text me and let me know
guilty.
how you're doing. And sometimes you got to be like, no, I need to hear your voice. I need to see your face. My own mom is like, oh, dear God. And I was like, Mom, don't worry. We'll FaceTime for 15 minutes. Swear to God, it won't go into an hour and a half like last time, which means, Mom, we need to check in more often. But to my beautiful husband, so his beautiful partner, who I knew, my friend, I wish I knew her better, Yvette, she passed away like June. So they had 3 months to put her affairs in order. And Mark, my husband, which is still so hard to say, my husband, he's so wonderful. And he
Okay.
to put her affairs in order. And Yvette's son, Alessandro, was wonderful. And he was at our wedding. He gave us his blessing. Her family gave us her blessing. Friends, I know it's hard for some folks still, probably, but God bless them all. So we sat outside and he put together a fire pit for me. And I was like a handy Jew, I can say that. And I was like, my mom is brought up Southern Baptist, and my grandmother on that side, my dad's Jewish. But Mark's a full Jew, and he's a handyman, and he cleans people's barbecues. He's got a great business going on for himself, and I've been so encouraging, and he's encouraging to me. He's like, "Your extra is awesome. I want to have these deep conversations.
Okay.
Talk. I want to have deep conversations about everything, not just spiritual shit. About dogs, about Trader Joe's, about life. It doesn't matter. I just like to talk
About everything.
everything." He said, I want to feel and have meaningful conversations about everything. We rarely just chit.
I love it. And listen, women, I need you to hear this right now. Women, I need you to hear. I need you to know. I need you to understand. Lori says that she has a husband now. She is married. And this is recent. Lori is 57 years old and just as gorgeous as she wants to be. But I'm saying this for a reason because people think that they cannot get married past a certain age. People think that they cannot find love past a certain age. Lori has found her soulmate, her person, her
I got
husband
me a hug.
at 57 years old.
And I wasn't like, I did
So
online
baby,
dating. I
listen.
won't lie. Dating online is hard, especially in a big city, a small city, a rural area. It is hard to date wherever we are. So the dating apps get a bad rap. I had two wonderful relationships with the dating apps. You just have to be very discerning. And I think if you're also being of service, you're going to meet some guy volunteering, a lovely gal, whatever. You're going to meet someone where maybe you're volunteering. Maybe like my therapist forever ago was like, you like to hike, join the Sierra Club. And I was like, oh, you know what? No, no. My friend and I did it anyway. Sometimes I'll call it contrary action. We took contrary action. We joined this hiking club. There was a 170-year-old guy. They were these old farts, but at least I did it and we were in a good mood and we hiked. And the next time I did meet someone kind of
Right?
cute. We went on a date. It wasn't the thing, but all that to say, do what you love, and if you put it out there, they'll show up. And also, there's no perfect time.
Period.
What we were talking about, right? Yes, you have to go through
No, it's not.
baggage. that's hard to just suddenly say, okay, now I'm done and I'm ready. You're never done, right? So you also have to have a lot of faith that like God's going to bring you the person you're going to be through. Just pray for guidance. Just pray for guidance. God, please put me in the right place, time, people, events, situations, conversations that I
Yes.
could meet a partner. Please, God, let me be ready. Let me be willing to be willing. Let me be willing to take the top off of that lid that I've been hiding in that little can or whatever, because I do want to
Jeez.
share
Yes,
my life
yes,
with someone. And
yes.
let me work on that with my posse of friends so that I have that appropriate intimacy and boundaries and love of giving and taking, so that when the partner comes along, I think we think, oh, a partner, that's a different pamphlet than friends and family. No, it's not. The same respect, boundaries,
It's the same.
communication, love, give and take, respect, love, tribe, all that. They're people. Partners are people too. I think we put them in this other category. We put in a
Exactly.
category of all places where you do have to have respect and boundaries is with your partner, is with your family. Because we're like, gosh, like, I had all these expectations of how I thought people should show up for me at my wedding. And I was just acting out because I wanted certain people, places, things to happen, when in actuality, they were showing up for me. Accept and meet people where they are at. Pe-
Thank
They may
you
not show
for
you the
saying that.
title
Meet people where they are and not where you want them to be.
because then you're
Meet
just,
them where they
yeah,
are and not where you want them
because
to
otherwise
be.
you're alienating them. They probably won't want to come towards you. I know I've done that with my sister. So Lisa, I love you so much, right? I'll talk about all things woo-woo and hippie and animal rights activists and blah blah blah. And sometimes that may put people off or whatever, but that's me. So if I can meet people and they can meet me where I'm at, we're most likely going to have a mutual relationship, that a relationship that is mutual respect and mutual love, and not try to turn that person
I
so that
love
I can
it.
just find resentment and build a case against you. How does that serve me? Then I'm the one sitting there going, "Man, fuck man,"
At all.
and having expectations. Expectations are premeditated resentments.
Oh,
I
honey,
didn't
if
come up
that
with that.
wasn't a word
Somebody,
for somebody,
yeah, it's just premeditated.
listen, I love
I
that.
still really struggle with that. I want people to do what I want them to do in the way that I want them to
Oh,
do it.
honey, me too.
We all do.
Me too. That's why that's why 99.9% except this one of my relationships have failed because I had expectations of people because I wanted them to be. I expected me from other people and I did not meet people where they were. I expected me. I expected them to be like, okay, well, I do this, so why you don't do this? Like I just like my wife anti Valentine's Day. But when we met, I was like, well, I love
Right. I
Valentine's
love
Day
cards
because
and
you need
flowers.
to buy
Yeah.
me flowers and candies and all this other stuff. And she was like, no, because that's just like a money grabber. Like I can celebrate, I can tell you that I love you any day. But I couldn't expect her to love something just because I did. And I had to realize that I love her for her. So I can't expect her to be what I love or do what I
And you,
want all the time. That's what made me love her is
right.
because she's
Right.
different.
And if you love someone, you will say, you know what, honey? Like I said to my husband, I said, this is so old school. I am so modern and hip and like that just sounded so dorky to prove that I'm actually not so hip. But and I'm inclusive and I try to do the right thing in the right time. I know Riz, I know we don't say fire anymore. I try to keep up with what I'm supposed to say. I'm just kidding. But like I said to my husband, I said, honey,
Me
I
too.
don't know what it is, but when we go out, I've never had this. Could you open the door for me?
Right.
And he's like, yes, I can do that. So conversely, I don't want to change one, but I
Right.
can ask for my needs to be met in a gentle, loving way that's not, and if this doesn't work for you,
I
I
love it.
totally get it. But and then I think people really need to hear how you feel. It makes me feel so cherished. It makes me feel adored every single time you do it. It makes me smile, like
I love it.
fall in love with you every single time. It doesn't get old. It never gets old. Like every time I go do SpongeBob, like
So
so I'll stop. He's like, oh, I forgot. And I said, listen, we split household stuff, but I said when we're on date night, I'll pick up something somewhere else. But when we're on date night, could you pay for date night unless it's really expensive? And he said, yeah. I feel either old school or like you owe me, and it's like no. I and he's like, I now I know what makes you happy. You like flowers from Trader Joe's, fantastic. I can do that.
Because we have to tell people what makes us happy because people are not
They're not
mind
mind readers.
readers. And I think in like relationships, women sometimes think that men are just supposed to
Oh
know.
no,
Sometimes men
no,
don't
they
know and they
don't.
cannot read our minds unless they
And
tell
then you
us.
say,
So let me ask you this. What is the one thing that the majority of people in general get wrong about Lori Allen? What do people get wrong about you they'll be like, oh, well, she's like this, and it's like, no, that's like the furthest thing from me. Like,
wow,
what do people just get wrong about you?
wow. I have to think about
Yeah.
in real time. Oh, but wait, I also have to say something really quick on the other side about asking someone, telling people what you need.
Hmm.
So one night, my husband, he's very physical and used to be a gymnast, and I used to be a dancer. So we're both like overdoing it at our age, but we don't care. We do it and we stretch and we get massages when we can. And I said, honey, let me run you a bath. You were just on the gutter cleaning out the crap from the gutters, and you were doing something else physical at your job today. So I ran him a bath, and I came in and he was crying. He said, no one's ever run me a bath. So last night, I think it was actually, maybe the night before. No, I think it was either last night or the night before. I said, honey, I'm going to run you a bath. Is that okay? And I like it scalding hot. I like to just be like on fire. And he's like, don't I like,
Me burn my skin
I
off.
burn my skin
Burn
off.
my
And I
skin.
moisturize after because I want to feel like I'm going to pass out afterwards. But he did pass out for every
Right.
time I lit the
Yes.
candles, I sprayed lavender in the room and I just put a shit ton of Epsom salt. And he was like, no one's ever run me a bath before. So I said, well, it's like the equivalent to opening the door for me. Anyway, what is something that
Exactly.
I think people mistake that I don't need downtime or quiet time, um, or that I'm really vulnerable. And I really, unfortunately, still have to work on what people think of me. I think people would think that I'm rich.
Really?
I'm so not. I live on my residuals working in this business. I think people think you're automatically rich and fabulous. I don't think that people would know that I um, am a daddy's girl. I'm a mommy's girl. That I'm a recovering bossy boots. And the reason I'm a recovering bossy boots is because it still gives me from time to time the false illusion that I'm in control. Excuse me, I'm not.
Mm.
Um, and that, gosh, I have to keep thinking about it. But I think that's good for now, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So before we end the podcast, we're, we're gonna have a
Okay.
quickie.
Ooh, okay. Let's do it. I wish I was there.
Because I mean, every girl just loves a quickie.
I
So we're
Everybody
going
loves
to
a
have a
quickie.
quickie, okay? Because you get your best when you have that quickie. So you have like 5 seconds to answer each
She
question. She's like, okay, let's go. Okay, ready? Okay, what was the last TV show that you binged and loved? She's like, what?
Wait. I have to just think of the Truman Capote versus the Swans, and then before that, it was Beef and the Bear.
Favorite movie of like all time?
Oh. I think it might have to be Toy Story, not just because I'm in it now, but because
Ah!
yeah, because it opens my heart, cracks it open, and makes me feel
Of
love in a way
course.
that I can't describe. Yay, Pixar. Uh-huh.
What is your favorite meal that like you can eat every single day if you
Mm,
could?
mm, 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 mm. That was the song chorus line. That's the main song. Da, 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 da. I sing when I get nervous. What was it?
Me too.
Oh, we were looking at my Instagram page or photos when memories come up. and I made this vegetable. I'm a terrible cook. Oh my God. And I made this vegan, gluten-free pasta veggie stew, and it turned out, I thought it was going to be like shit, and it was amazing, and we ate on it all the time. I love Van Leeuwen vegan mint chip ice cream. I could literally have that with almonds on
Hmm.
it every single day.
Okay, so I've got a lot of different answers on this next
Okay.
one. So, what is on your nightstand?
Oh, lavender eucalyptus spray. Um, lavender eucalyptus spray earplugs because I'm such a sensitive sleeper from my mood disorder and because I used to live in New York. So I have a sound machine. Most people it would keep them up, but I prefer to sleep to white noise with earplugs. Um, Hand lotion, lavender. I love lavender. Lavender hand lotion, lavender eucalyptus spray. The Bryan Cranston book. I love him as an actor. He talks all about quotes, which I want to share with you. And my glasses. I have some CBD spray to help me go back to sleep, and Michelle Obama's book.
So, what are you most grateful for right now at this very minute?
That it's sunny out, that my dogs are quiet, that I'm talking to you. You are a new soulmate. That I have enough food in the fridge, that I slept well last night, that I have shelter, that I have car, that I'm going to go recycle some glass bottles at this new juice place and get a free juice. I'm grateful that I have a sweater that I bought on sale that feels very feminine and pink. That I, instead of buying new gold, I love to layer stuff. That I found these two that I hadn't had, and I found some old jewelry that I really liked. Um, I'm grateful for the fact that I just declutter a lot lately because I just want energy out of here that doesn't belong. I'm grateful for this emotion wheel. I'm grateful for you. I'm really grateful that I have insurance. Um, yeah.
So, what she just did, guys, I want you to take this into your everyday life because I always ask people this as the last quickie because sometimes we don't stop and think of every positive thing that we have in our lives right now. Regardless of how big or small, sometimes we overlook that because we're so focused on the negative that we don't stop and think about every positive thing
And
that we
sometimes,
should be grateful for right now.
right? And I like how you said, right?
And you just did
And
that.
sometimes when you're,
You
yeah,
just did
when you're
that.
not having a, I wake up and hear, let the sun shine in kind of day. What I'm grateful for is my bed, toes, and a cup of coffee. Sometimes that's all I can muster on the days.
Okay. So, what can people expect from Lori Allen? I'm sorry. Next.
Um, mm, um, 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 I did this show with Kristen Bell. I can't say the title of it, but it'll be on Netflix.
Uh huh.
It's a show
I'm
called on our
ready.
show. We've recorded Warner Brothers, and the building is now Warner Brothers with Cartoon Network. Um, and it is called Bat Family. It's a kids animation show based on the son of Batman, which is adorable. Um, I get to be Stranger Things on Netflix animation. Um, on camera with Kristen Bell for her latest show. Just Google it. You didn't hear the other thing I said. I just recorded SpongeBob the other
Uh huh.
day. There's something else. There's something else. Ugh, what is it? Um, I'm the mom in Pokemon Concierge show, and there's something else.
Come
My heart.
on.
There's something else. There's something else. I did this crazy show called Reefer Madness, and it was this on stage show based on this propaganda movie in the 30s, and it's the 25th anniversary. So I'll be doing that, something live and in person about that. And I teach and coach a lot. And so I teach a lot about the mindset of being a voice actor and an on-camera actor. So I just really enjoy that. I enjoy that. Um,
Where can people learn more about you? Where can people find you? How can all my listeners support you? What are your handles? We need all of
yes,
that.
LoriAllen.com. And I'm redoing my site. One of my best friends, Emily Green, is so good at this stuff, and she'll come up with something amazing. So LoriAllen.com. I am Lori Talk 4, I think, on Instagram, right? And then I'm Lori Allen 1. Hold on, let me make sure that's right. Let me make sure that's even right.
Right, because
I love posting. Yes, Lori Talk the number 4 on Instagram. Lori Talk 4. And I don't know
love it.
who Lori Talk 4 on Instagram, Lori Allen 1 on Twitter. I don't know who all the other one, two, threes are, but bless them. And then I really am liking Instagram more and more these days because I can't stand Elon Musk. But once in a while, I will go on Twitter.
I love
But
it.
I don't care for it really more. I don't believe in my morals don't align with his at all. So I'm mostly on Instagram. And I think I need to be posting my own version of positivity stuff. I have to be on there for work. I hate to say it. It's true,
Yes.
but I need to be posting some just funny stuff. When I had a really bad back injury, I had a car accident, and some of the drugs kicked in early. And my husband, I was looking for slippers, and I had just washed my hair, so my hair, this curly, crazy hair, is up in a towel. And I'm like reading some Amazon reviews on slippers, and he was filming me, and he's like, "That is so funny." And I was like, "I'll be damned." I have I have more followers from me doing these Amazon reviews when I was under the influence of it, they're hilarious. They bring people joy. So I'm going to promise right now that I'm going to do more Amazon reviews because they're funny. Because when people have that
Yes,
much time to
please.
write 6 paragraphs, you're like, whoa, you need to get out more.
Now, what was your favorite part? And this is me being kind of vain. What was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh, gosh. Well, talking about what we're grateful for always, and talking about being very honest about mental health and your tribe, because that is something that I'm just currently working on, and it just multiplies. And all of a sudden, I get well and I recover spiritually, and I get back to my true authentic self, sort of in like double time, or it just goes faster. My The wounds heal in a beautiful way when I'm in a good tribe. Can I tell you something before we finish? Can I read you a quote?
Sure.
And I was going to interview you, but I'm so damn tired.
I was going to ask, what was your favorite quote? And here is your moment.
Okay, there's no, hold on. Bear with me. First of all, tell people how important they are to you and tell you that you love them always, because there's a lot of death around me as of late, and you just don't know when it's going to be your time. So,
Correct.
this quote that I heard recently um, is hold on. I beg your pardon. I can't find her. It's going to make me crazy. I saved the damn quote. Where is it? This. You've got to resurrect the deep pain within you and give it a place to live that's not within your body. Let it live in art. Let it live in writing. Let it live in music, conversation. Let it be devoured by building brighter connections. Your body is not
Yes,
a coffin for pain to be buried in. Put it somewhere else.
I love that.
And then,
I love that. I love it. I know that
mm,
you get asked this 110 million times, but I think that my viewers would be extremely upset with me if I did not get you to close us out
with Pearl's voice,
in
please.
your
I knew
please,
it.
please, please,
It's my
please,
place.
because I feel like my like viewers would be so upset if I did not ask you to do this, and I would be
Of
upset with
course.
myself because I love her.
It's
Okay,
one thing that I get to do for sometimes is my
okay.
crazy imagination gets to let somebody be happy and forget their problems, or entertain someone for a minute, a day, a year. Great. So I would just say to you that I am so proud and inspired. And the other thing that I love about Pearl, she's a big girl. She doesn't care what anybody thinks about her. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. And of course, I can't say that on Nickelodeon. But Pearl Krabs is a great, actually, role model for people to go out and be their loud self. She asks her dad for money. She asks people to the prom to be her date. She dances. She wears what she wants to wear. And so she's a great role model. And there's that Pearl laugh. I love you. I hope that doesn't distort on camera. If it does, let me know the way we're recording it and I'll send something else to you.
Oh my gosh, I love it, guys. Please, 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 if you love this episode, share this episode. Please go and follow the amazing Lori Allen. Like, she has just made my life, and I love it. Y'all, continue to uplift each other. Find your tribe. Be weird. Be different. Be extra. It's okay.
And find something
And
to
always,
somebody for the day. To tell somebody, to
yes.
say, like, find a stranger and just say, like your jacket, love your hair. Just say to somebody at the grocery, on a dog walk, at the bank, have a good day. Say something nice out loud into the world. Sorry, go ahead. You were ending.
Be the change. Oh, no, honey, I am used to it. I am used to it with me because I told you I have ADHD, so like interrupt myself. So so as you go out there and be great in their face, remember to have a good day on purpose. Huh? Bye.
Not smile, because bitch, you're gorgeous.